My friend, are you wondering why your intimate performance isn't what it used to be? You feel the attraction, the desire is definitely there, burning inside you, but when the crucial moment arrives, either things don't respond as firmly as they should, or you notice a gradual weakening during the encounter itself. Maybe you start strong but can't maintain that strength throughout. This situation causes genuine concern for countless men across America, and I want you to know you're not alone in this struggle. Now, here's what most guys immediately assume when they face this challenge. They need pharmaceutical solutions to fix this problem. They think there's something broken that only medications can repair. However, the reality might surprise you. The answer often lies within your own daily habits and choices, and you can access these solutions through completely natural approaches that work with your body rather than against it. Stay with me through this entire presentation because I'm going to reveal the mistakes you're probably making without even realizing it, and more importantly, how you can turn this situation around starting today. But first, I want to ask something from you. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. This support is crucial for strengthening my mission and helping the platform's algorithm understand that this content matters and should reach as many men as possible who desperately need this information. Many guys come to my practice telling me stories that sound remarkably similar. They describe moments of unexpected failure that came out of nowhere, followed by cascading doubts about their capabilities and masculinity. They've lost confidence in situations where they previously felt completely secure and powerful. Some tell me they avoid intimate situations entirely now because the fear of failure has become overwhelming. You know what connects most of these patients? Here's the interesting part that might give you hope. They don't actually suffer from serious medical conditions affecting their physical mechanisms. My friends, the vast majority of men experiencing these challenges, I'd estimate around 75 to 80% based on my 3 decades of clinical practice, are dealing with lifestyle factors. These are daily decisions that both you and I make regularly. Choices that end up undermining one of 3 essential foundations required for optimal function. The first foundation involves cardiovascular circulation. Think about your anatomy this way. The male organ operates essentially like a sophisticated vascular structure requiring precise hydraulic function. It requires robust blood flow to fill the internal chambers called corpora cavernosa and achieve proper firmness. When blood vessels become compromised through inflammation, plaque buildup, or poor cardiovascular health, this entire mechanism suffers. The second foundation depends on a well-functioning nervous system operating at peak efficiency. Your brain needs to receive stimulation, whether visual, tactile, or emotional, process that information correctly through neural pathways, and transmit the appropriate signals that allow the necessary relaxation response in smooth muscle tissue, permitting blood to enter and fill the internal spaces effectively. This is a complex neurological dance that requires everything working in harmony. The third foundation requires an optimal hormonal environment with balanced testosterone levels. You need adequate testosterone to activate the first foundation, circulation, because this hormone maintains blood vessel health and elasticity. You also need it to ensure your brain, which represents the second foundation, receives and transmits signals favorably through properly functioning neurotransmitter systems. When any of these 3 foundations becomes compromised even slightly, your performance suffers dramatically. Either things don't respond at all, or you experience that frustrating gradual weakening during activity itself that leaves both you and your partner disappointed. Now I'm going to introduce you to 6 adversaries that rob your masculine vitality and leave you struggling with disappointing performance. Understanding these enemies is the first step toward defeating them. The first enemy is psychological pressure and worry. When these 2 conditions dominate your mental state, You trigger increased adrenaline production throughout your entire system. As I consistently emphasize in my content, adrenaline represents the most powerful anti-performance substance that exists in human biochemistry. It keeps your anatomy in a constant alert state, completely constricted and contracted. This is your body's fight-or-flight response. Blood gets diverted away from reproductive functions toward major muscle groups because your system thinks you need to run from danger. When constriction dominates, proper blood entry becomes impossible, making adequate firmness completely unattainable. The second enemy is lack of physical movement and sedentary lifestyle. My friends, without regular activity that challenges your cardiovascular system, achieving good circulation becomes virtually impossible. Your heart is a muscle that needs training just like any other muscle. When you sit all day, your blood vessels become sluggish, your circulation slows down, and your body loses its ability to efficiently pump blood where it needs to go. And without proper circulation, maintaining reliable firmness becomes significantly more difficult or impossible. The third enemy involves excessive consumption of inflammatory foods that damage your vascular system. If you spend entire days eating refined sugars that spike insulin, processed fats that clog arteries, and consuming alcoholic beverages that stress your liver, you create an inflammatory condition throughout your body that directly damages your cardiovascular system. This inflammation makes blood vessels stiff and unresponsive, exactly the opposite of what you need for optimal performance. The fourth enemy is carrying excess weight, which essentially results from both sedentary behavior and poor nutritional choices combined. However, extra weight brings specific complications beyond just the visible changes, including serious hormonal disruptions. Fat tissue, especially abdominal fat, contains an enzyme called aromatase that converts testosterone into estrogen, the feminine hormone. This conversion process directly impairs your performance capabilities by lowering available testosterone while simultaneously raising estrogen levels. The fifth enemy is excessive consumption of explicit digital material combined with excessive self-stimulation habits. This combination gradually desensitizes your brain's reward system through overstimulation. Your brain becomes accustomed to unrealistic scenarios and extreme stimulation levels. When you encounter natural stimulation with a real partner in normal circumstances, you feel less aroused because your brain's sensitivity threshold has been raised artificially high, and your performance suffers as a direct result. The sixth and final enemy is inadequate rest and poor sleep quality. I'm talking about both quantity and quality here, my friends. Without proper deep sleep, where your body undergoes crucial repair processes, you cannot restore your energy reserves or produce hormones effectively. Poor rest also creates hormonal imbalances with declining testosterone production, because testosterone is primarily manufactured during deep sleep cycles. My friend, if you're struggling with any of these adversaries right now, understand this clearly and let it sink in. Complete recovery of your masculine power is absolutely possible if you align three factors that create the ultimate high-performance male. Your age doesn't matter. I've helped men in their 70s reclaim their vitality. Whether you're over 55 years old doesn't matter one bit. Whether you've been struggling for more than 3 years doesn't matter, because the body has remarkable healing capacity. What matters is making the decision and taking that first step today, rather than continuing to wait and hope things improve on their own. In today's presentation, I'm going to share 3 recommendations, 3 initial steps you can implement immediately to begin this alignment process, right from your home, without spending money on expensive treatments. The first step focuses on improving your rest quality dramatically. If you can achieve between 6 and 8 hours consistently every single night, and I mean consistently, not just occasionally on weekends, this will regulate hormonal production and significantly help your performance when the moment arrives. Create a sleep sanctuary. Dark room, cool temperature around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, no screens for 1 hour before bed, and a consistent schedule even on weekends. The second recommendation involves practicing meditation techniques daily to rewire your stress response. This practice helps you control excessive adrenaline production that sabotages performance, keeps you more relaxed and confident in intimate situations, and ensures you perform excellently when the opportunity presents itself. Start with just 5 minutes daily using simple breathing techniques. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response that's essential for intimate function. The third recommendation is incorporating high-intensity physical training into your routine strategically. Even if you already exercise regularly, optimizing your intensity level, pushing harder during both strength training and cardiovascular sessions, will improve blood flow to your intimate anatomy and enhance your performance capabilities significantly, my friend. High-intensity interval training specifically has been shown to boost testosterone production and improve vascular health more effectively than steady-state cardio. Let me tell you something about my background and why you should trust this information. I'm Dr. Charles Bennett, and I've been specializing in masculine health for men in their mature years for the past 30 years, right here in the United States. Throughout these 3 decades, I've dedicated my practice specifically to urology, with a concentrated focus on intimate health challenges that affect gentlemen in their golden years. I've witnessed thousands of transformations in my practice. I've seen men who thought their best years were behind them completely revitalize their intimate lives through understanding and applying the right principles consistently. What drives my passion for this work? Simple. I believe every man deserves to maintain confidence and capability regardless of his age or current situation. The golden years should represent freedom, enjoyment, and satisfaction, not resignation, disappointment, and avoiding intimacy. Through my extensive clinical experience working with over 5,000 patients, I've developed protocols that address the root causes rather than just masking symptoms temporarily with quick fixes. Here's something the pharmaceutical companies don't want emphasized too loudly. Your body possesses incredible self-healing and optimization capabilities when given the right conditions and proper support. Medications can provide temporary assistance, and they definitely have their place in certain situations, but they don't address the underlying factors creating the problem initially. Think about it logically for a moment. If your circulation is compromised due to inflammatory foods and sedentary habits, taking a pill provides temporary blood flow enhancement for a few hours. But once that pill wears off, you're right back where you started because nothing fundamental changed in your body's condition. Contrast that with natural optimization approaches. When you improve your sleep quality, you're literally reprogramming your hormonal production system at the cellular level. When you practice stress reduction techniques, you're retraining your nervous system responses and changing your biochemistry. When you increase physical intensity appropriately, you're building cardiovascular capacity that serves you continuously throughout the day and night, not just for a few hours after swallowing a tablet. Here's what fascinates me after 30 years in this specialty. These 6 enemies don't operate in isolation from each other. They create what I call a cascade effect, where one problem triggers another in a downward spiral. Let me illustrate this with a typical patient scenario that probably sounds familiar. Imagine a man who works long, stressful hours in a demanding job. The psychological pressure affects his sleep quality negatively. That's 2 enemies right there working together. Because he's exhausted from poor sleep, he skips his morning exercise routine that he used to do regularly. Now, we're at 3 enemies compounding. Coming home late and stressed, he reaches for convenient comfort foods, processed items high in refined ingredients that taste good but destroy health. That's 4 enemies. The combination of poor diet and no movement gradually adds weight around his midsection over months. We're at 5 enemies now. Feeling inadequate about his physical condition and stressed about performance after experiencing failures, he turns to digital stimulation for easy gratification without the pressure of a real partner. All 6 enemies are now operating simultaneously, reinforcing each other in a vicious cycle. The encouraging news that should give you hope: just as these enemies create a downward cascade, positive changes create an upward spiral that builds momentum. When you improve your sleep quality, you have more energy for exercise the next day. More exercise reduces stress hormones and improves your mood significantly. Better mood leads to healthier food selections because you're not seeking comfort from junk food. Healthier eating combined with movement reduces weight gradually but steadily. Lower weight improves hormone balance naturally as less testosterone gets converted to estrogen. Better hormones enhance natural desire for real intimacy with your partner. Success in real intimacy builds confidence that had been shattered. Confidence reduces performance anxiety dramatically. Reduced anxiety improves sleep quality. The positive cycle reinforces itself and gains strength over time. Gentlemen, I need to be completely honest with you about realistic expectations because I respect you too much to make false promises. The pharmaceutical approach offers quick, temporary results. Take a pill, see effects within an hour, but face potential side effects and ongoing dependency. Natural optimization requires more patience and consistent effort, but delivers sustainable transformation that lasts. In my clinical experience working with thousands of patients, most men following these principles consistently notice initial improvements within 2 to 3 weeks. They report morning responses returning or increased firmness during encounters. Significant transformation typically manifests within 2 to 3 months, where confidence returns and success becomes reliable. Complete optimization often requires 6 months of consistent application where you've rebuilt your foundations completely. Does this timeline sound lengthy compared to instant pharmaceutical solutions? Perhaps it does initially, but consider this carefully. Would you rather experience reliable, sustainable performance that lasts for years or even decades based on genuine health improvements? Or would you prefer ongoing dependency on expensive medications with potential side effects like headaches, vision changes, or cardiovascular stress, and diminishing effectiveness over time as your body adapts? What I've shared today represents merely the tip of the iceberg of what's possible. There's significantly more that can be achieved and conquered when you have access to comprehensive guidance. If you want to continue evolving, accessing exclusive content and special educational sessions where I go deep into advanced techniques, I have a very special invitation to extend to you today. Become an official channel subscriber today and transform your journey. By doing so, you'll join a community of men committed to becoming true champions of intimate satisfaction. As a subscriber, you will have access to daily video presentations and direct access to advanced information with notifications that non-subscribers don't receive immediately upon video release. You'll participate in a community where you can suggest topics, request specific guidance on your situation, and receive answers to questions asked directly during the educational video sessions, where I respond in detail. Most importantly, you'll contribute to this channel's continued growth and strengthening with daily content that transforms lives across the country. Before we conclude, I must emphasize something vital for your safety. This content is provided solely for general knowledge and educational information purposes. It does not replace evaluation by a qualified healthcare professional in your area. If you are experiencing symptoms or have specific health concerns, consult your specialist immediately. Intimate health problems can sometimes indicate underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or hormonal disorders, which require proper diagnosis and treatment by a licensed physician. While lifestyle optimization significantly helps the vast majority of men, some situations require medical intervention or combined approaches. Never hesitate to seek professional guidance when needed. There's no shame in asking for help. Your next step. Act now. Did you find value in this presentation today? Then share with me in the comments section below which of these enemies is affecting you most significantly right now. Is it psychological pressure keeping you up at night? Digital overstimulation that's rewired your brain? Sedentary lifestyle because work keeps you chained to a desk? Inflammatory eating patterns you know you should change? Inadequate rest because you can't shut your mind off? Excess weight you've been carrying for years? Understanding your primary challenge helps me create content that addresses your specific needs directly. Remember this fundamental truth. Every expert was once a beginner who felt lost. Every transformation started with a single decision to change. Every champion was once someone who felt defeated and hopeless. What separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck? Simple. The successful ones took action despite uncertainty and fear. They started before feeling completely ready. They persisted through initial challenges when results weren't immediate. Your intimate vitality represents more than just physical performance in the bedroom. It connects deeply to your overall confidence in life, your relationship satisfaction with your partner, your sense of masculine identity and purpose, and your overall quality of life. Investing in this aspect of your health creates positive ripple effects throughout every area of your existence. Your work performance improves, your relationships deepen, your self-respect returns. Thank you for your attention today, my friend. Now take that first step toward reclaiming what's rightfully yours. Your future self will thank you for the decision you make right now in this moment.